Everybody who watches Doctor Who has their least favourite and most favourite Doctor Who companions. Some are more popular and well known, like Sarah Jane Smith, played by Elizabeth Sladen, and some are maybe a bit more decisive and maybe a bit more disliked, like Clara Oswald, played by Jenna Coleman. However, ultimately there is one companion ever since they debuted on the screen that has been ultimately disliked. And that companion is Adric. Adric was the companion of the 4th and 5th Doctor, and ultimately many fans didn't like his portrayal on screen. In today's video we're going to be diving into why viewers and fans alike disliked Adric, and why now lots of people genuinely love the companion and character. I want to start on a pretty bleak note for this character. Lots of people thought that Adric and the acting itself was pretty annoying, boring, and frustrating. People who were fans of Classic Who and watched it during the time it was on air found that Adric just really didn't fit with his TARDIS team. For people that have watched the eras where Adric was there, people will know that Adric was a very, very intelligent companion, but lots of people find that his intelligence was just a lot of time arrogance. A pretty famous clip from Stephen Moffat pretty much sums up what fans and viewers thought of Adric.
I don't know why they persist in science fiction in thinking that we're going to watch boy geniuses. It happened on Star Trek: The Next Generation as well. We hate boy geniuses. I mean, I don't know how Matthew Waterhouse turned out as an actor, but he wasn't an actor then. He wasn't even a bad actor. He just wasn't acting. It is like watching a member of the audience who has strolled to his own delight onto the set and is joining in with the regulars. I didn't realise how much people hated it.
It can't be understated how much people genuinely hated the character of Adric, and even hated the actor who portrayed Adric. Now, Adric is definitely not my favourite companion or even my cup of tea, but it is just completely unfair to hate on the actor to such an extent. And I'm not just talking about criticism towards the actor for a bad portrayal of a character that is completely justified and fair. People do that all the time. I'm speaking more about the, out-of-pocket comments. Matthew Waterhouse, who portrayed Adric, was actually meant to be a teenager in the show, where all the other companions around him were meant to be adults, but they all looked the same age, which just added another layer of frustration and annoyance to his character and him meaning to be a teen. He just wasn't very convincing as a teenager, which just added fuel to the ever-growing fire of dislike towards Adric. Lots of fans also say that Adric's chemistry with the 4th Doctor is way better than it is with the 5th Doctor. His sarcastic comments, his know-it-all attitude actually kind of works with the 4th Doctor. It just doesn't feel right, and it just doesn't have that balance or chemistry that is really needed for a companion and a Doctor to thrive, meaning that again it just adds way more fuel to that ever-growing fire of hatred towards Adric. If he can't be good with his Doctor, then it's just overly annoying. It really reminds me of how, in my opinion, Clara Oswald just didn't work with the 11th Doctor. Their personalities were too different, and Clara just didn't bounce off the 11th Doctor very well. But with the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, Clara Oswald was an incredible companion, and it worked really well. Just like Adric worked really well with the 4th Doctor, but not very well with the 5th Doctor. The comparisons and differences between the two really don't stop there either. When Adric was ultimately killed off in Earthshock by the Cybermen, people cheered and were very happy. But with Clara, by that point with the 12th Doctor, people genuinely liked Clara, so when her death came about, a lot of people were pretty emotional. But I'm telling you now, it would be an absolutely different story if it was the same version of Clara with the 11th Doctor. And I think if we saw the version of Adric with the 4th Doctor perish, it would be a slightly different story, although with Adric, he just really didn't get much character development. Ultimately, the reason lots of fans hated him just comes down to this. The character was annoying, wouldn't stop whining, didn't fit in with his TARDIS team, and his character just wasn't really appreciated for that reason. There is another companion that I can draw a comparison to just for the new Who viewers that maybe haven't got the real memo behind why people dislike Adric. Adric is like the Ryan Sinclair of Classic Who. Doesn't really do much, is annoying, and doesn't stop moaning. But although I would say without a doubt, Adric is probably still one of the most hated companions, sorry being clickbait a little bit, I would say that he's probably the most loved he's ever been. Due to social media and there being plenty of reruns of Classic Who and being on BBC iPlayer and other streaming services, people have actually found a soft spot for Adric. And of course, especially his final episode, Earthshock. Earthshock is probably one of the best 5th Doctor stories. I mean, God, one of the reasons that they decided to kill off Adric in the first place was because he was one of the most unpopular companions ever. He was just unpopular. And I think for lots of fans, Earthshock is just a great demonstration of what Adric could have been. Adric gets a moment to shine, which throughout the series he just really doesn't. He gets, of course, his boy genius moments and his whinging, but here he feels like an actual fully developed character, which before this I'm not gonna lie, he just really doesn't, and any attempt to do so just falls flat. There's also quite a large subsection of fans that have overcome his annoyance and realised, well, that's just the character. His character is meant to be a boy genius. Boy geniuses are usually annoying. Look at Will Wheaton's character in Star Trek Next Generation. There's also a pretty big thing that happened that made people genuinely enjoy the character of Adric, which is Matthew Waterhouse, the actor behind Adric. He's just a really nice guy, and sort of made fans reflect on Adric and why he got so much hate in the first place. And from reports and what people have said, Matthew Waterhouse genuinely loved his character and was very passionate about it, not even really liking the fact that they killed off Adric in Earthshock. An actor having lots of passion for a role can really change how you view that character, because you know that they know their character. Just like for me, I don't particularly like Yaz in the 13th Doctor's era, but I know her actress, Mandip Gill, absolutely loves the character and is very passionate about her. It's something I can respect, and I can take a different look at the companion. And just like Mandip Gill's Yasmin Khan, she also got given some pretty naff scripts, and I think for Adric, he got given some pretty naff scripts to work with. I think what changed overall is that Adric was introduced to a brand new generation of people. Those people actually quite liked the companion and character, unlike the people who watched Classic Who when it came out on screens, which just gives you a brand new perspective of that said character, looking at that character through a brand new set of eyes. As much as I don't like Adric, I can 100% see why a brand new generation of people genuinely do like Adric and find him an interesting character, and I think some of the hate is pretty unsubstantiated. Yes, he's annoying, but some of the hate he's got and how much hate the character of Adric has got and Matthew Waterhouse has received is just unjustified in my opinion. Of course, everyone will have different opinions to me, and that's completely okay. Feel free to comment down below your opinions on Adric, and I'm sorry for the kind of clickbait title, but you know, it's YouTube. And I thank you everyone for watching another Doctor Who related video. I will catch you in the next video.